Hello everyone, this is ZRPG Revamped, and I'm here today for another episode of the Weekly Inquiry, a weekly series focused on the community where I ask you guys the questions and you give me responses. I'll read them out every episode, and I will then ask another question, as I will be doing today. So, I actually got this up a day late. Well, hopefully it's only a day late, unless something happens with the uploading. It should be up on Sunday, because it's a Sunday right now. But it should have been up on Saturday, but I didn't have access to the camera at the time, so I have to do it now. I have a few videos I want to make, actually, and I want to make them soon. So I don't know how I'm going to space them out, but anyway, luckily I actually gave some time for some extra people to post that otherwise wouldn't have been on time. But you guys, I gotta thank you so much, because this week we got the new most amount of posts and responses with 7. Now that's like, you might seem like that's not much, it's only like a single digit, but I usually don't get near that many comments on my videos, so thanks a lot for that, guys. So yeah, I have it all in this notebook. I was actually going to print out the page of comments this time, especially since there's so many. But for some reason it wouldn't let me print it, so I resorted to this again. Anyway, last time I asked you guys, what is one game you hate that everyone loves, and what is one game you love that everyone hates? And that was amply titled the Love and Hate episode. So, for example, I said that not necessarily hate it, but Muramasa the Demon Blade, I didn't really see the appeal from what I played of it. And I love City Folk, Animal Crossing City Folk, when a lot of people, even Animal Crossing fans, seem to hate it. Anyway, I'm going to get into the responses now. Here are the responses. Yep. Like 2 1/4 pages overall. Alright, so the first person to respond was Helsinki Rocks AGF, which is also a new responder, so thank you for joining us there. One game I can't stand that people seem to love is Shadow of the Colossus. It's such a freaking drone master's art. As for games I love that people tend to hate, I'll be broad and just say 3D Sonic games, because I love them. As for Shadow of the Colossus, it's always a game I've wanted, because I've heard so many good things for the PlayStation, for it on the PlayStation 2, and I lack a lot of the essential titles on the system. Still haven't tried it out, though. I have seen a bit from Let's Plays, though. Doesn't seem necessarily my style, but I still think it should be appreciated. And yeah, I've heard a lot of things about the controls and everything, how wonky they are. But yeah, you're right, mostly praise. So, and the 3D Sonic games, yeah, those are the only. I never really grew up with the 2D Sonic games. It was always Nintendo, so the 3D Sonic games were really the only ones I experienced on like the GameCube. I have Sonic Heroes, Sonic Riders. Sonic Riders is like one of the low points, but Sonic Adventure DX, Shadow the Hedgehog, things like that. And there's a lot of the ones that are out now, like Sonic Generations and even Sonic and Secret Rings and Black Knight. I'd like to try out sometime, but I haven't. I do enjoy like Sonic Heroes, though. That was a good one. Next person was Fergie04. One game I cannot stand that everyone seems to love is Skyrim. To me, the gameplay is clunky and slow, the world is not filled with enough things to interact with, and the majority of the spells are cliche or identical to the next. It sucks because it was one of my most anticipated games. One game I love that people seem to hate is Mirror's Edge. People don't hate it really, but mostly are indifferent when the name comes up. I'm dying for a sequel, and the first game had the smoothest controls. Skyrim, I had a lot of interest in this game. Even though I don't play it, I love the soundtrack on the game. Like, even though the main theme is beautiful enough, like I really love that fully orchestrated, like empowering feel of the whole soundtrack, and that's what the whole game kind of feels like. All like this huge epic, an obvious AAA title. I'm glad it was so successful and well received, because it seemed like it did so much and tried to do so much, but you're right, a lot of people love that game. They praised it so much. I can't speak on it myself because I haven't played it, but definitely interested in it. It's interesting you say that there's not enough things to interact with, because that seems like the problem would be that there are too many things to interact with a lot of times, and you get lost, is probably a lot of people's complaints in big open world games like that. And Mirror's Edge, actually, I'd say that most people actually I've seen like Mirror's Edge. I haven't really seen hate on it. You said they're indifferent, but I don't know, it seems like every time it's brought up, it's because people are saying, oh, it's an underrated game. But when a million people are saying it's an underrated game and there's no one else talking about it, I don't think it's very underrated. That's just what I think. Zavin NES 1718 said, first finish Chrono Trigger, caps lock. Sure. Second, I can't stand all those water bottles in your desk. It drives me bonkers. Well, where are the water bottles now? Not over here. Yeah, I moved to a different area just to try out something new. I'm in front of, like, TV and whatnot. And you can see some stuff in the background. I guess it's kind of interesting. So, now for the question. I hate. Did I say hate? Super Mario 64. I cannot stand that game whatsoever. I like other 3D Mario games, but hate 64. I love TNC Surf Designs on the NES. It's made my LJN through so a lot of people dislike it, but after mine and Pestra's battle, I really enjoyed the game. Super Mario 64, those are some pretty harsh, those are some fighting words right there. I'm sure a lot of people are angry about that one. I think it was really revolutionary for the time. It might not hold up as well now. It still does, I've heard. It like holds up really well, I've heard, but it won't like seem as innovative or unique to you because you play it now and you're like, oh, you might as well play Galaxy 2 because it's just basically a more polished game in that genre. So TNC Surf Designs, yeah, I remember your battle back and forth on PC Gamer Forum for the Operation Kill Screen contest. So yeah, that was really close. Next person, SCS Canlan. I don't even know your name exactly, so sorry about that. I don't know if you're supposed to pronounce it like Scanlan or SC Scanlan or SCS Canlan. I don't know. Sorry. But that's a new responder as well, I think. No. Because I don't remember responding, reading out that bad, but I don't want to mix it up if you actually did respond. Yeah, that was the first time you responded, yep. Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is one of those games all my buddies really seem to enjoy, but I just can't get into it. I liked the first one and the second one, but 3 just doesn't appeal to me. Black Ops 2 is for the loved one. It seems really popular for folks in the gaming community to just loathe Call of Duty today these days. I like it. Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I did like it. I played through multiple storylines. I was kind of getting hooked on playing through multiple storylines. So I'm tired of how fighting games really don't have any focus on story whatsoever, because it's always like an arcade mode, and it's like often like 10-minute storylines. So I wish there would be more in-depth story modes. But I could never get into fighting games fully because you really need to be competitive to get the full experience, which is a shame. Black Ops 2, I completely agree there. The game community is too harsh on the Call of Duty series, I think. I agree with some of the criticisms, but overall I really love like almost every Call of Duty game I play. It's got to be doing something right where it hooks people in that way. And you really have to be able to appreciate the multiplayer aspect to be able to do that. It's just a great game to pop in, you know, when you don't have anything to do. That's the perfect multiplayer game and whatnot. Pastor87 said a game that I love that everybody hates is Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest. I was completely engrossed by the game. It was as if they took the first Castlevania game and turned it into Skyrim. I just loved walking around and exploring the world, killing monsters, talking to the townspeople, and occasionally clearing a castle and the haunting atmosphere in the game. As for a game that I hate but everyone loves, I'm going to go with Okami. I love the art style but disliked everything else. Castlevania 2, haven't played it either. I'm a big slacker here today. But yeah, I've heard like such notorious things about it, like almost always negative. So it's cool to hear this perspective from it. And yeah, Okami. I've always really wanted the game just because it's been such a high recommendation, and I'd like to have a few more essentials on my Wii or PlayStation 2. Either one could really use it. Just because I love the Wii and my PlayStation 2 is lacking, but yeah, I do love the art style, but yeah, I've watched some of the Let's Plays as well, and it doesn't seem like my cup of tea. Kind of, it's like a really little too offbeat for me, like not my style. ChronoLink 9, this is the first time he's responded, thanks. I loved Metroid Other M. Most everyone else hated it. Everyone always pointed to, wow, Samus isn't badass, she whines and complains and is weak. When really she's a broken human being. She's badass plenty of times throughout the game. Story and gameplay and music all stood out for me. As far as games I dislike that other people enjoy, I'm going to go with Grand Theft Auto. Never appealed to me whatsoever, and I'm not at all looking forward to GTA 5, unlike a ton of people apparently. Metroid Other M, I do have it. We got it, my brother and I got it from the Best Buy sale for like $10 or $5, I forget which one. It was like really cheap, and you still probably find it real cheap. I remember the game all over the place was really real cheap, even outside of the deals. Like, no one wanted the game anymore, which is a shame. Like, it got such terrible reviews, Metroid Other M. It got a few good ones. It was really mixed in the end. It was mixed all around. But yeah, that's the biggest complaint, is like the feministic qualities they gave the oversaturated sandwich with and whatnot, is what people complained about. So it's good to hear some good thoughts on that. I look forward to playing that and finding my own thoughts as well. GTA, I haven't played much of that. I have 3 in San Andreas, but I actually like to try out 4, to be honest. People, like, GTA fans seem to like loathe GTA 4 for some reasons, but I really like those kinds of open world games like Just Cause 2 and things like that. I love getting immersed in those kinds of worlds where you can just roam around online and things like that. Wreak havoc. That's what I want to do. I want to get that game eventually. And the last person just barely got in time, like I said. He posted this like a few minutes before recording this, and that's Layered Gamer. He said, love Skylanders. The game gets a lot of hate. Yes, the characters are expensive, but it doesn't make the game bad. And bad is Halo. The game just seems generic. I understand what it's done for the time period, but I don't think it deserves all it gets fully. Skylanders? I don't feel like it's gotten that much hate, to be honest. There are a lot of people in the community who just kind of troll it, and obviously in Operation Killscreen, Tim and Mike always troll Holly for it, but there's definitely a lot of love for it out there, I think. Even Classic Game Room Mark, he loves the games enough to be reviewing like pretty much every new figure that comes out, so it's got to be doing something right. Obviously it is. It's been doing like so successfully. It makes sense though, because they've got a perfect marketing scheme for this. And Halo, I used to like be someone who always said Halo is overrated, but to be honest, I can't really credit myself enough to say that because I haven't played all that much of it. I played maybe a few hours of Halo 2 and Halo 3, a few hours of that, but I haven't been able to play Halo because my copy is like broken or something. The original Halo, but I want to try to get into it more and then give my thoughts on it eventually. But yeah, so that's it for the responses, guys. So getting into next week's question, and that's just gonna be a real simple one, but it's also an interesting and relevant one now. We all know that online like Xbox Live, things like that are very relevant these days. So many people are immersed in like MMORPGs online and whatnot, but what I want to know is going back to good old split screen days or whatever you do, handhelds, whatever. I want to know when you have friends come over, what games do you really do you pop in immediately? Is there a certain game that you always default to? Or are there like a mixture of games? Just name off some ones you commonly play when you have friends around. For me, it's really usually two things. The first main default every time is Super Smash Bros. Brawl, which is pretty much my favorite game of all time. And yeah, it's really just, it transcends generations. Anyone can really enjoy the game. It's always like a fan favorite. It's always a favorite when you pop it in. Like, we'll try it out sometimes, and there'll people be yelling at the screen. It'll be like a huge sports game going on. Like, it was so much fun when I was at my friends after their birthday party, and we had like 5 people playing Smash Bros. One person would sit out, and they'd be like commentating on what's going on, like, oh, flying off the screen. People are yelling, getting frustrated or whatever, getting full of themselves. It's just really a blast to play. Another game, if there's less people, like one other person, because I only have 2 360 controllers, we might play Call of Duty, whether it be Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2. Yeah, so those are really the main ones. Recently, even though this isn't really a favorite, and not a spectacular game at all, we've been playing SpongeBob SquarePants Lights Camera Pants, which basically got like mini games in it, and you play through stupid story modes. It's really kind of a stupid game, but it can be a lot of fun. That's not one of the ones we commonly do, but just happened to play it, so I thought I'd mention it. Mario Kart's always good, but Smash Bros. Overall is really done so well with as a multiplayer game, and bring everyone together. So I want to thank you all for watching, and please leave video responses, spread it around, and leave comments. Like the video. I really appreciate all the support you've been giving it. 7 comments is like more than enough for me. If we want to keep it going, sure, let's go to 14 comments, 20 comments, however long we can take it. Follow me on Twitter at ZRPG, at HeyListenPod. You can find all of the last week's responders in the links below. And you can find all my links to contact info anyway. So, until next time, guys, I've got some videos on the way. Gentleman's Challenge update videos. Probably 2 of those, unless I try to combine everything. So guys, see you later.